Góða kvöldið öll sömul, eða það allavega kvöld mín megin. Good evening everyone, or at least there's evening on my side. Welcome to my channel, Let's Learn Icelandic, or velkomin á rásina mína, lærum íslensku. Today's lesson is suitable for everyone, beginners or more advanced students alike. So, the thing was this, November var afmælismánuðurinn minn. November var afmælismánuðurinn minn og þá datt mér í hug að það gæti verið gaman fyrir ykkur að læra íslenska afmælissönginn. Okay? Again, November var afmælismánuðurinn minn og þá datt mér í hug að það gæti verið gaman að kenna ykkur og að þið myndu læra íslenska afmælissönginn. So basically, November was my birthday month. In no worries, I'm not the kind of person that celebrates my birthday for months at a time, but that made me think that maybe it would be fun for you guys to actually learn the Icelandic birthday song, even for yourself, or if you know somebody who loves Icelandic, then you can surprise them and sing the Icelandic birthday song. The birthday song is super simple, super easy. It's the same one as you use in English, like happy birthday to you, but we just use an Icelandic lyrics to it. So let's just get started. First of all, how to say birthday in Icelandic. The word for birthday in Icelandic is actually afmæli. Afmæli. And this is kind of a weird word because if you break it down to the roots, the meaning doesn't have anything to do with being born or a birthday or anything like this. So the meaning behind the word is not obvious at all, but nobody cares. We just call it birthday or afmæli. Afmæli. We do have another word that is more directly translated as a birthday, and this is fæðingardagur. Fæðingardagur. Dagur means day and fæðingar refers to being born. So this is really the date of birth if we translate it directly, and we use it as such. We only use it when, for example, you're in a formal situation and somebody is asking you what is your date of birth, then we would use the word fæðingardagur. But in all cases where we're talking about a birthday or birthday party, somebody celebrating their birthday, we will always use the word afmæli. Afmæli. A quick note about the pronunciation of afmæli is this. First of all, the official pronunciation pronounced the F more like a V. So this is very common when F is inside in the middle of Icelandic words, as those of you who have seen my episode 10 might remember. So the official pronunciation is pronouncing the F as a V, and we say afmæli, afmæli. However, this official pronunciation is only really used when you're enunciating, or if you're speaking very formally, or if you're speaking to someone of bad hearing and you want to be really clear, or if you're a news reporter, usually in a more formal speak, then you would pronounce it properly and say afmæli. In daily speak, especially when talking about like birthdays of kids and something super informal, we make the pronunciation easier and we simply say ammæli. Ammæli. We completely drop the V and it's almost like there are two M's and we say ammæli. The only reason for this is that it's easier to say. Okay, it's easier to say. So if you just say afmæli, 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 faster and faster, it would sort of automatically turn into this ammæli. So this is what people say, usually in an informal way. So you can also skip the V and simply say ammæli. Now to the song itself. I'm going to be completely self-obsessed and sing the song for myself, even though my birthday was already weeks ago. And then when I'm done with singing it for me, then afterwards I will teach you how to change it in a way that it's suitable for everyone. Okay? Let's just get started. I'll sing it once and then I'll explain anything that needs explaining. Hún afmæli í dag, hún afmæli í dag, hún afmæli hún Ása. Hún afmæli Okay, this was verse number 1, nummer 8. Because in Icelandic we actually have 2 words, and the second verse is something that we don't really need, nobody asked for. And when you're singing it for someone that's older than 7, let's say, usually it's more awkward than pleasant, but we have it, and there are 2 verses, so we always sing them. So I will also teach you the second verse now. Hún 39 ár í dag, hún 39 ár í dag, hún 39 ár hún Ása, hún 39 ár í dag, yeah. So the name of this song in Icelandic is afmælissöngurinn, or the birthday song. So söngur means a song, but it's a specific kind of song that is focused on, that is really being sung. So it's a song that's really being sung, and it's focused on the singing. So this is sort of like a singing song would be the meaning of söngur. For example, when you hear a song on the radio, you will usually not call them söngur, you would call it a lag. So lag is a more general word for a song, but söngur refers to a lag or a song that's being sung. The first line of the song is Hún á afmæli í dag. Hún á afmæli í dag, which very easily means she has a birthday today. She has a birthday today. We say hún because we're referring to me, and I'm a female, or a she, so that's why we use hún. But if you want to sing the song for a guy, for a man, or for a boy, then you would use hann á afmæli í dag, hann á afmæli í dag. And if you want to sing this about a non-binary person, you will say hán á afmæli í dag. A small grammatical side note here is that when you use the word have in English, in the most simplified view of this verb, you can think of it as having 2 meanings. One, you use it as an auxiliary verb, like I have been, and the second use is like I have a car, I have a house, I have a wife, whatever. And this, the meaning of this is sort of like I own this thing. So it's either used as like a auxiliary verb or in the sense of owning something. In Icelandic we use 2 different words for these cases. We have a verb that is have, which is actually að hafa, and this we use as an auxiliary verb, very similar to the way that we do in English. But when we're talking about owning something, where we would usually use the word have in English, we use the word for own, which is að eiga, which is in the form of the third singular person, is á, and that's why we say hún á afmæli, because she owns a birthday. But more about these words later. I just wanted to introduce this difference between English and Icelandic. Then the song just continues with repetition. Hún á afmæli í dag, hún á afmæli í dag, hún á afmæli í dag, hún, she, Ása, my name. So if you want to sing it for any other person, you will just put in their name there instead. And then the second verse that we don't really need starts in a very similar way, very simple, very straightforward, and we say Hún 39 ára í dag, which means she is 39 years old today. So if you want to sing it for somebody of a different age, you'll just swap out the 39 with the actual number of the age. There's a small side note to that I will get to later. But let's just finish this simple verse. We simply say Hún 39 ára í dag, hún 39 ára í dag, hún 39 ára, hún Ása, hún 39 ára í dag. So to adjust this for different people, all you need to do is swap out the pronoun. You either use hann, hún, or hán, depending on the gender of the person that you're singing this for. You need to swap the name, of course, and then finally you need to put in the correct age. That is everything. Then you can apply this for every single person that you know. However, we need to have some side notes to make it more complicated, otherwise it's not really Icelandic. However, if you have seen on some of my previous lessons, then you will know that the numbers from 1, 2, 3, 4, the number 1 to 4, are a bit problematic because these behave sort of like adjectives. They change depending on the gender and the cases and everything else. So this means that when you want to say that somebody is X years old, it's slightly different for these 4 numbers. Okay, so I'll just go through it. Okay, so the pronoun of the person doesn't matter. It's the same whether you're a male, female, or non-binary. The pronoun doesn't matter, so you can either say hann eins árs, hún eins árs, or hán eins árs. Similarly, hann tveggja ára, hún tveggja ára, hán tveggja ára. Hann þriggja ára, hún þriggja ára, hán þriggja ára. And finally, hann fjögurra ára, hún fjögurra ára, and hán fjögurra ára. One note on fjögurra. In daily speak, this is simplified in pronunciation, so you will hear fjögurra much more commonly than fjögurra. It's always spelled as fjögurra, but we usually pronounce it as fjögurra just because it's easier. Okay, it's just because it's easier, that's why we pronounce it like this, but pronouncing it fjögurra is also completely correct, but it's not usually how you do it, at least not in casual speak, just so you know. And now the question becomes why? Why is this? And this is because of grammar. Okay, this is because of grammar. The word year in Icelandic, is ár. Okay, ár. And it's a neutral word. And like most neutral words, it's the same in the singular and in the plural. Okay, so we would say eitt ár is 1 year. But if we would say 2 years, we would say tvö ár. So for example, when a person is 1 year old, we say hann eins árs. When a person is 5 years old, we would say hann 5 ára. You can see that the word year is in the form árs and ára, and this is not the nominative form that I told you before, which is ár. Okay, the reason for this is that when we say, for example, hann eins árs, both 1 and a year is not in the nominative form, but it's in the genitive form. Okay, it's in the genitive case of the noun. And the reason for this is that we're not saying that he is a year. He's not a year. He's not time. He's not a year. He is a person. But what we actually mean to say is that he is a person of 1 year. And because it's of 1 year, then it is in the genitive form. Okay, we haven't talked a lot about the cases in this course, so for now you will just have to believe me. And then sometimes in the new year we will start working a bit more on the cases. That is all for today. I hope you learned something. See you again in the next lesson. Bless, bless. Here is the Icelandic birthday song, so now all you have to do is practice. Good luck! Here is some of the vocabulary that we went over. Remember, from 1 to 4 years old, you say eins árs, tveggja ára, þriggja ára, and fjögurra ára. And remember that this also applies when you're 21, 31, 41, etc. And finally, I leave you with a phrase, happy birthday, or til hamingju með afmælið. Ég 39 ára, hvað eruð þið gömul? You don't have to tell me if you don't want to, but try and practice and see if you can tell yourself how old you are. Feel free to use Google and any help that you need, and you can always ask me if you have any questions. If your age ends with 1, 2, 3, or 4, I wish you the very best of luck. That's it for today. Until next time, bless bless.